कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, 2 dead following horrific road accident. Government to subsidise new jobs. And $15 million paid out in concessional loans.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Tragedy has struck the Ndraketi women's football team with the death of the coach and a player in a horrific road accident yesterday. 40-year-old Karalaini Matare and 16-year-old Shainaz Begum were on their way to training for the upcoming women's IDC. Sainiani Boila has the details.
Matare and Begum were walking along the Lambasa-Nambowalu highway but never made it to training.
I'm the student's uncle. This is unbelievable. They were on their way for training when this happened.
They were hit by logs which fell off the back of this truck. A man in his 30s from Namaka, Nandi, allegedly lost control of the truck and failed to negotiate a bend. The truck toppled over and Matare and Begum were hit by logs which fell off the back.
We were the first car to arrive straight after the accident had happened. We got off the car and saw a lady lying dead. It is very dreadful to see things like this.
It was a very horrifying experience, seeing their bodies. I feel for their family, their loved ones.
The two victims were rushed to the Ndraketi Health Center where they were pronounced dead on arrival. 16-year-old Begum was described as an upcoming player who had a bright future in football, while Matare had dedicated her life to the sport, becoming a coach after retirement. The driver is under observation at the Lambasa Hospital as a police investigation continues. Sainiani Boila, FBC News.
The government will subsidise wages and salaries for employers who register under a new scheme announced yesterday. Minister for Economy Ayasai Kayum says the Stronger Together Job Support Scheme is open to businesses, public enterprises, NGOs and municipal councils. Edwin Nunn reports.
All approved employers will receive a subsidy of $2.68 for every new employee hired for an initial period of 3 months.
This hiring subsidy is harnessing the same spirit of unity to put Fijians back in jobs, as government will directly subsidize the wages of eligible new hires or new employees made by employers who are approved as Strong Together employers.
Syed Kayum says preference should be given to Fijians without FNPF accounts working in the informal sector, those who've been unemployed for a year or more, and new graduates. Employers will still have to top up the remainder of the relevant sectorial wage rate, cover FNPF and any additional costs.
To prevent this initiative from curtailing existing employment, new employees will be considered against existing staff numbers as of 30th September 2020 as verified through FNPF.
All new hires under the scheme must be approved by the Ministry of Economy. Anyone who is receiving government assistance of $222 fortnightly under the FNPF COVID-19 withdrawal will cease to be covered. It's estimated that 5,000 new hires under the scheme for the next 3 months will cost $6.4 million. Meanwhile, Syed Kayum has also revealed that hotels are needing more staff on weekends due to increased bookings, but workers are reluctant to return for fear they will lose their government assistance.
If you are asked to go back to work for the weekend and you are getting a $220 a fortnight, you won't lose it. And you can go and work on the weekend. And even if you get, obviously you get paid for that, that won't be deducted from the $220.
Now the airport taxi drivers will now also receive the $220 fortnightly assistance paid by the government, while an assessment continues for the Nosori airport taxi services. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The concessional loan scheme by the government has encouraged youths to repurpose their unique skills. 20-year-old Nikesh Prasad is one of the recipients and says it will help sustain his livelihood and create a better future for his family. Kritika Kumar reports.
Nikesh Prasad lost his plumbing job due to COVID-19, but having secured the concessional loan, he's decided to try something new.
I got laid off from my job from Suva Plumbing. Then it was very hard to get a job. So it was on online that I can get a micro business loan. So I applied for it for my barbecue stall.
Mohammed Hussain also received funding for his consultancy firm and intends to employ those who have been laid off.
This is a pandemic time, the government really help us, and we are here to help people too. Because the government is like helping everyone, like people who don't have jobs. And like we have discussed, then we employ more people as the business grows.
Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya says applications came in from all over Fiji, and the loan scheme will assist businesses and individuals struggling because of COVID-19.
It's basically quite a substantial amount of people in Fiji who actually applied for it. That's why it's taken a bit of time to actually get it all assessed. But it's an ongoing process. We're doing a few more. FERC has, as I said, done quite a few already. So.
The repayment term for the loan is 5 years, with no mandatory payments for the first 12 months. $15 million has so far been dispersed through the scheme. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
609 people have been registered with the Fiji Cancer Society, and 196 newly diagnosed cases have been recorded for 2020. Chief Executive Belinda Chan says these numbers are expected to increase in coming months due to the current challenges of the pandemic. Kelly Vathala reports COVID-19 has affected the supply of medicine and healthcare services for some patients.
69 new breast cancer cases have already been registered for this year, and it continues to top the society's list.
Right now, all cancers are increasing, but the most two common cancers for women, breast and cervical, always overtaking each other. But for now, I think breast is more evident out there.
With late presentation still a concern, Belinda Chan says women need to start prioritizing their health.
Because if anything happens to you, you need to question what's going to happen to my family, what's going to happen to my children, what's going to happen to my husband.
Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James FONG says the key to treating cancer is early diagnosis and management.
The key is not the high-end stuff. And the reason why that is so is because we can bring the high-end stuff to Fiji. I can set up one radiotherapy center any day. The problem is you don't have the people who will access it and live longer. Because the people are not coming in early enough.
With October marked as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Dr. FONG is calling for active screening and for healthcare workers to track patients to ensure they follow through each treatment process. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
148 households of Solove and Senganga Vanuatu will benefit from a new electricity grid extension. Energy Fiji Limited spent almost $3 million to provide power to the community. After 20 years of relying on diesel generators and solar power, Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama reassured villagers that rural communities will receive the advantages of the modern world.
We are doing it at one community at a time, one island at a time, one settlement at a time. But progress is steady and sure. And I think we will meet our goal.
With the extension of power to the larger Senganga area, it has built confidence and motivation amongst the farming fraternity.
Up ahead, addressing development gaps and arm wrestling to mark Fiji Day.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
The Fiji First government in the past years has immensely contributed to Fiji's growth while addressing the development gap between rural and urban areas. Tomasi Moli, the Turangani Koro from Naivindamu village in Maduata, highlighted that a number of developments have been completed in the village in the past 2 years. Chosai Nunga reports.
Tomasi Moli says the fast-paced development in many rural communities is a testament of the government's effort in leaving no Fijian behind.
The Prime Minister is a man of his words. We had a meeting with him during his visit 2 years ago about plans to boost our agriculture production, and we are really thankful about the news that these projects will be executed this year.
The government, through the Agriculture and Waterways Ministry, has assisted the villages in many ways.
We have been receiving assistance from the Agriculture Ministry to boost rice, yangona and ndalo production. Now we venture into cocoa farming, and we are grateful as well to the government for the construction of our seawall to reduce the risk of sea level rise and coastal erosion.
Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the new seawall will reduce the risk of coastal flooding and sea level rise.
In 20-30 years' time, that mangrove will be a major first line of defense and protection for your foreshore. Then the boulders, then the vetiver. So very excited about this project, and we should be done in 2 to 3 weeks' time.
Naibindamo villages have embarked on a 2-year development plan where each male villager, particularly the youth, has to plant 500 ngwana and ndalo plants for future community development projects. Josiah Nanunga, FBC News.
On the occasion of Fiji's 50th year of independence, Vodafone Fiji has been conducting a citizens' engagement arm wrestling competition. This has been done around the theme Stronger Together to promote greater pride, unity and patriotism amongst Fijians. Kritika Kumar reports.
The one-of-its-kind competition is intended to uplift the spirits of Fijians and reward them with prizes.
Fiji people are known to be happy, known to be very, very sportive. So due to COVID and little bit slowdown in business, the spirit of people is little dull. So we want to uplift that spirit and bring people back on the track and in that happiness mode and celebration mode on the occasion of 50th independence.
Organizers hope the arm wrestling competition will help Fijians to remain connected in hard times.
Fiji has changed and the world has changed forever in the last 8-7 months. And we need a competition like this to bring us together, to show of solidarity and bring us. And that is the reason why that Vodafone put a competition together like this.
The competition, known as the Vanua Arm Wrestling Championship, with 4 elimination rounds, is being hosted all over the country.
The Vanua Vodafone Arm Wrestling Championship has been for the past 3 weeks staged in various zones around the country. It's been held in the west, it's been held up in the north and central and eastern division.
The competition culminates with the finals during the Fiji Day weekend at the Vodafone Arena. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The 150th birthday of Mahatma Gandhi was commemorated at MGM High School in Suva last night. Organised by the Indian High Commission to Fiji, it was an opportunity to remember the contributions Gandhi made in people's lives. Minister for Youth and Sports Parvin Kumar, while officiating the event, says we must follow in Gandhi's way of faith during this difficult time. He says we must be steadfast and work in unity to tackle the implications of COVID-19.
It is there, and it is something that the world is now learning to live with as the search for vaccine continues. Yet, thinking about Gandhiji and the calmness with which he dealt with situations which led to the death of hundreds of thousands, more than any pandemic, gives us cause to learn from his methods.
Independence Day celebrations in Savu was one of the fondest memories for 68-year-old Carolina Mbolao, who says she still holds the day close to her heart. Mbolao was only 18 when Fiji gained independence. Sanyani Mboila has her story.
Mbolao was a newlywed when she participated in Independence Day sports competition in Savu.
I was in Savu then, married with only one baby. We took part in sports competition. It was a bright sunny day as we prepared for the competition. At the same time, we talk about Prince Charles.
The market vendor in Suva says she played center in the netball team, but everyone was busy talking about the handsome Prince Charles visiting Fiji.
All our team talks were about the prince, his suit, his feet, his hands, his hair. We all just can't wait to see him. Even his smile is more than enough.
The Sabu Sabule says it was a different day altogether, seeing the smiles from Fijians as they welcomed the Prince of Wales.
He came to Savu Savu and we traditionally welcomed him. He loved the place. We had no time to waste as we ran to shake hands with the prince.
Having been a part of Fiji's history has always been a proud achievement for Boalau, and being able to witness the 50th anniversary is a blessing.
I'm so blessed to again witness the 50th year of celebrations. It's been a long journey for us, for the country, and when I look back, it was all worth it, and we're so blessed.
She believes Fiji can strive for excellence if we stand together as a nation. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
And turning overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump is said to be doing well despite being airlifted from the White House to a military hospital after testing positive for COVID-19. Earlier reports suggest the 74-year-old was having trouble breathing. Ahead in sports, Namosi retains FAREBROTHER trophy and women's IDC postponed. Details after the break.
Pula nadang go aprosra ng karse, go erkraki, do talebe on varong na Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibit.
Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibit.
Namosi defended their FAREBROTHER Sullivan Trophy title at the ANZ Stadium following their 21-3 win over Yasawa. The champions scored 2 tries and Alivareti Vetokani added 3 penalties for the win. Nandi will be the next challenger on the 17th of this month. Here are the 2 tries from the match.
For Namosi. Wonderful carry by Namosi. Ball went back. Penny Matawalu, Kelepi Naimasi, the captain. Matawalu there very quickly, Vetokani very close to the corner flag and they dive over. Filimoni Morawa. Inia Rokomatu takes it in. It's there for Morawa, the halfback for Yasawa. Intercept Namosi. And this is a gift try to the center, Onisi Ratave.
Naita Siri maintains their second position on the Skipper Cup table. The side defeated Nandronga 13-6 at Ratadakambao Park in Nausori this afternoon under heavy conditions. He is part of the action from the match.
He's got some very big boots. Good strike, his distance not a problem as well, and the direction is not the problem as well. Nandronga side waiting for the bulldozing grounds from the Naita Siri big forwards. Once they go up once again, Nandronga defending well. The referee says no. That was good. I've seen it. He has gone over the whitewash and closed the gap. We have Choseva Kurudava. Comes right in. Flags go up as well. On the 30th minute, they trail by 8 points to 3. Out they come. Kitty Douglas. Cut out pass, advantage right on the far end. Can they go through? He has enough. And has he gone in?
The Ramsami Suva side played the Skipper Cup match against Tailevu with heavy hearts last night. Utility Setareki Raomba laid his mother to rest today, while lock forward Israel Azario, who played last night, will farewell his mother next week. Aquila Dama with the story.
A minute of silence was observed to remember the lives of the 2 Suva players' mums and one from Tailevu.
The win is dedicated to both of them and also to the families who are going through a very tough time.
Suva managed to beat Tailevu 27 points to 25. However, they will have to tie up loose ends before facing Naita Siri next week at Ratu Thakumbau Park in Nausori.
What we're doing now is actually building up the points. I think we managed to score, even if we have lost the game today, we'll still be on the top of the table. But again, we will try and load up for our next week's game against Naita Siri.
Tailevu head coach Samisoni Mbaike Tong says their best was not enough last night, but they managed to score 3 tries against the Skipper Cup champions.
I've told the boys that we need to win our last 4 games. It was unfortunately tonight that we could not make it. I think there was some error from our boys that Suva capitalized on.
Teilevu is 6th on the table and will play Yasawa next weekend. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
All Black Sevens rep Salesi Rayasi scored twice for Auckland in their 26th win against Bay of Plenty in the Mitre 10 Cup last night. Bay of Plenty's record against Auckland is awful, having not beaten them since 2012. Here are the tries.
Down just outside the 5. Little cross kick over to the wing of Salesi Rayasi. Oh, has he done it? Yes! Salesi Rayasi scores the try for Auckland. And Zane Capelli down for Bay of Plenty as Hickey looks away to the left. Simon Hickey taking on the line. Gibson, he's close, a metre out. Rayasi again. Salesi Rayasi gets 2. Back on the side of Bay of Plenty, so Vela with it. He gets it away to Regan Weir, puts the kick through. Regan Weir. Oh, it's all over the place there.
2020 Vodafone Women's Inter-District Championship, scheduled to be held at Bidesi Park in Suva next week, has been postponed. Fiji Football Association Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf has confirmed the women's IDC has been moved to the end of this month. The decision was made by the Fiji FA board this morning due to adverse weather conditions. Yusuf adds the women's IDC will still be played in Suva. He says the senior division may now be moved to the Uprising Sports Grounds in Pacific Harbour. Setereki Hughes and Tevita Warnivalu will be gunning for Lincoln Refrigeration Rewa's first win in 8 years when the Courts Inter-District Championship kicks off next week. The two who have been the Delta Tigers for almost a decade now will have to work hard to end Rewa's IDC drought. Karlaini Tavi has more.
Getting a win will be the highlight for the veteran players.
For me personally, winning this IDC will be a great thing for me, a great achievement for me, because it's a big tournament. Everyone looking forward to it, and winning this IDC, it's be a blessing to me.
It will mean a lot to me because I've won the BOG and Fiji Flag. This is the tournament I've been always wanting to win from since I've started my soccer career. So I'll try to go out in this tournament and give my 100%.
The team believes this is their year to lift the IDC trophy, given the win in the 2020 Battle of the Giants and its #1 spot in the Vodafone Premier League.
Even though I'm carrying an niggling injury, but I'm still working in my personal fitness, also with the team. So I would say the preparation it's going well, especially with the team and individual as well.
And yes, I do believe in my boys that they can do the job in this tournament. So yes, it will mean a lot to me winning this IDC.
Rewa will face Lautoka at 7 p.m. on Tuesday at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Karlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
The Penrith Panthers are set to miss their star forward Viliame Kikau in the NRL preliminary final in 2 weeks. Kikau was charged with a Grade 1 dangerous throw for a first-half tackle in last night's 29-28 win over the Roosters. And you can watch 2 qualifying finals live on FBC Sports Channel tonight. The Raiders takes on Sharks at 7:40 p.m, followed by the Eels and Storm match at 9:50 p.m. A flash flood warning remains in force for all low-lying areas and areas adjacent to small creeks and rivers along Nakorotiki, Donge, Kilaka, Ndawara, Naviavia to Navutu in Vanuelevu, Lami to Suva, Nausori, Nangali, Korvo to Rakiraki in Vitilevu. Cloud and rain bands affecting the group are expected to gradually clear from the west later this evening. Periods of heavy rain and a few thunderstorms over Vitilevu, Yasawa and the Mamanuca group, Vanuelevu, Tabiuni, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, and Lomaiviti group. Rain gradually easing to showers from the west later today. A quick look at the weather map. Looking at the west, periods of heavy rain and squally thunderstorms over most places. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, expect similar weather. And up north, no major change either. For southwest Viti level waters, Kandavu and Batuira passengers and southern Lao waters, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, gusting to 30 knots, winds becoming east to northeast later this evening. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 12:46 tomorrow morning, with high tide at 7:09 tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at 5:46. Now for tomorrow, expect periods of heavy rain and a few thunderstorms over Viti level, Yasawa and the Mamanutha group, Vanua level, Taviuni, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, including the Lomai Viti group. Our further outlook, we're looking further on to occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, Lao and Lomai Viti group, afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms expected elsewhere. And recapping the main stories, for tonight, 2 dead following horrific road accident. Government to subsidise new jobs and $15 million paid out in concessional loans. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question we're asking, will it be the toughest school term to date for students? Visit our FBC website to answer. And be sure to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us via Facebook page FBC News and our Twitter page at FBC_news, or simply hashtag FBC News. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, from the team and I, stay safe, stay warm and dry. Bye for now.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.